Hey guys, it's your boy Mark back with another video here to give you another 2022 movie thoughts. I'm going to give you a review of a 2022 movie, of course, called Iris Warriors. Now, what Iris Warriors is about, it follows these children and I guess this caregiver or something like that. It's basically like a World War II type thing, like a World War type thing. Like, the start of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, like the beginning of that one. There were like war planes going over and bombing places, and they were all hiding in shelter. And the caregiver, or whatever, tells them a story about the Iris Warriors. Darkness, who is a female, met Light, who is a male, and they have kids together. And Darkness goes evil, and yeah, that's what Iris Warriors is basically about. So what did I think of Iris Warriors? I was intrigued going into this movie. I saw the poster for this and I was like, wow, that sounds mesmerizing. That sounds mesmerizingly beautiful. And then when I watched the movie, we were on, the storyteller for a while, and I was like, man, I just want to get to the Iris Warriors. And then what I pictured in my mind, probably shouldn't have pictured something that, far out, with this type of movie in mind. What I pictured in my mind was like a whole ass space story, like colorful alien beings floating around space, like visiting planets. That's basically what I pictured in my mind for this. It was not that at all. All right, we never hear the Iris Warriors speak or anything like that. It's completely the caregiver telling the story, and then we see like what kind of looks like a stage production type thing of the Iris Warriors and Darkness. That whole story coming about. If that makes sense. If you've watched this, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, this wasn't for me, man. I'm sure someone out there who's a lot more patient than I am, I can imagine would probably love this. But man, although it's kind of hard to describe. I will say this: it's a very unique movie. I don't think I've ever heard about a movie like this, so it's very unique. I'll give it that. At the same time, really not my cup of tea. But it did have some absolutely beautiful, mesmerizing, like space type imagery. Like whenever we go on to the Iris Warriors and their story, it's very beautiful. I've never seen anything like this. It's like they're living on this giant diamond floating in space, and that was very beautiful and mesmerizing to look at. But that's about it, this movie for me, in terms of what it does for me. I don't plan on watching this ever again. But I'm sure there's a lot that went over my head about this movie, but at least I admit that this just wasn't for me, man. But yeah, like this is, even my auntie like saw this and I was like, oh, can we watch Iris Warriors? And then she was like, you're not gonna like that, and she was right, But again, I still loved the space. I still love the space type imagery and all that. And amazingly enough, last night I actually had a dream that had outer space in it. Let's see, what was the dream? The dream was, I think somebody, like, this being was, like, falling from the sun and, like, speeding towards Earth, something like that, and then it finally got to it, something like that. But it was very miserable. I can barely remember what was happening. I remember the sun was involved in outer space. That's about it, really. But yeah, Iris Warriors, not for me. I'm sure someone out there, this would be like the perfect move for them, but for me, this wasn't my cup of tea, and I'm sure somebody could do a much better review of this than I could. But yeah, I would probably give Iris Warriors a 2 out of 10. Easily out of the 2022 movies I've seen so far, by far the weakest. But yeah, that's your boy Mark Sanders, January 7th, 2022. Hope you guys enjoyed his thoughts, and yeah, peace out, y'all. Yeah.